Age of 42 author. Many are wondering regarding the conflicts in Israel that are exploding in the Middle East, in Lebanon, and everywhere else that hates Israel. Is this World War III? Please understand, the political leaders of the international community have not yet come to prominent power at this time. However, their itinerary for traveling the globe, setting up world terror to begin World War III, has been set. Book banner displays the Fox News channel, Your World with Neil Cavuto. He was interviewing Newt Gingrich, author of the book Winning the Future. Mr. Cavuto posed this question in regards to the conflicts in Israel. Does this crisis in the Middle East have any connection to the nuclear standoff with North Korea and Iran, or to terrorist threats against America? Former Speaker of the House Newt Gingrich says they all point to the early stages of World War III. He's quoted in saying, "You start in North Korea, where on July the 4th they deliberately fired 7 missiles. When we told them not to and said it was dangerous. They're trying to build nuclear weapons. We think they may have a dozen already. They are trying to build an ICBM which could reach the United States." Then you go to India, where recently 7 bombs went off in the city of Mumbai, and over 200 people were killed by terrorists. Then you go to Afghanistan, where there's a war underway with a sanctuary in northwest Pakistan. Then you go to the Iranian-Syrian Hezbollah-Hamas alliance, which is both helping hurt Americans and Iraqis in Iraq and is waging war both from Gaza and from southern Lebanon. Then you go to Great Britain, where the House Secretary says there are 20 terrorist organizations in Britain with maybe 1,200 members. Then you go to Canada, where 18 people were picked up with twice the amount of explosives used in the Oklahoma City bombing in 1995, and would talk about kidnapping the Canadian Prime Minister and cutting off his head. Finally, you come to America, where we have videotape of 7 people in Miami pledging allegiance to Al-Qaeda and the overthrow of the United States government. And you have plans in 3 different countries to destroy the tunnels in New York City. Now, I've just painted a worldwide picture of efforts to undermine and destroy our civilization. No, the tipping point was the direct repudiation of America by North Korea, deliberately showing their contempt for us by firing their missiles on July 4th, followed by both the North Koreans and the Iranians saying quite clearly they're going to build nuclear weapons and they're going to build missiles, and they frankly don't care what the United Nations says. We see the active terrorist alliance worldwide. We see an effort on the part of our enemies to prepare themselves to defeat us. And we hear the dictator of Iran, Ahmadinejad, says he wants to defeat America and eliminate Israel from the face of the earth. Age of 42 author. These ongoing conflicts little Judah has with his neighbors will continue until the end. Conflicts will begin, conflicts will end. Sometimes it will be from the Palestinians, sometimes from Lebanon, but all directed by Iran or Syria, supported by a whole host of enemy cheerleading nations against Israel. This, however, is not World War III. Nevertheless, the observation Newt Gingrich gave can be considered dark clouds forming in the sky over the heads of the entire house of Israel. Additionally, North Korea's involvement is a wake-up call, but not primarily just for the United States. It's a wake-up call for Japan to pick up arms once again, to tear up the Constitution, which was drafted after World War II by General Douglas MacArthur, and to get back into the war race game and protect their nation. God slapped us in the face with Japan coming across the ocean and bombing us at Pearl Harbor. We weren't going to get involved in the war unless they did that. God says, wake up. There's a war going around the world, and you're next unless you get into this mix and solve it. I have blessed you to be the single greatest nation on the face of the earth, and you had better get in there and be great as I have blessed you. Wake up. North Korea is doing the same thing with Japan. Japan may be pushed to the wrong side once again, along with other godless nations in Europe. Japan wouldn't get in the game unless North Korea was now shooting those rockets. North Korea won't be a real player in the future. Japan will be. And this is what's going to stir up China and Russia to have joint ventures because of the power Japan will wield with the help of the United States, because we're going to say, okay, you protect yourself. We'll allow you to have weapons. You're on our side now. Well, in the future, there won't be a United States for them to be on anybody's side.
I realize the removal of us, the United States, from power sounds incredible to most. However, the castration of our beloved nation will take place. Soon, this unmerciful surgery without painkillers will happen. But we must be warned with wisdom. The Almighty says, verse 7, "But when you hear of wars and rumors of wars, do not be troubled. For such things must happen, but the end is not yet." Verse 8, "For nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there will be earthquakes in various places, and there will be famines and troubles. These are the beginnings of sorrows." Mark chapter 13, verse 7 to 8, New King James Version. Understand, a plethora of problems will pop up all over the world, whether Pakistan attacks India, vice versa, or trouble in Afghanistan. Your protection lies with your Creator. Those are not the troubles that will bring in these end-time events. P.S. Note: regarding those who will destroy the house of Israel, do not be too concerned with the king of the south from the Middle East. The deadliest concern lies with the future king of the north from Europe.